Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Memphis Cat is back with his Heaven on Earth tour.
I tried to be incognito, but thanks to Shannon Sharp's loud mouth, the gig is up.
February 22nd in the FedEx Forum.
In my spare time, I infiltrate the Illuminati. Look for their secrets. Run back. Tell y'all.
Don't miss this year's most talked about comedy icon live. He's back with brand new material, an unmatched wit, and an electrifying performance. Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
It's your turn to drive into luxury at Southland Casino Hotel. Join us on Saturdays to win your share of up to $1 million in free play and prizes. And don't miss the chance to take home luxury itself during the grand finale drawings. Drive off in a 2025 Land Rover on February 1st or a 2025 Range Rover on March 1st. 2 vehicles, 2 finales, 1 million ways to enjoy luxury only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
A night of comedy with Sebastian Maniscalco and Jim Gaffigan.
Now, is this a family? Is this your mother? Where is she? Is she in the crowd? You don't know where your mom is. The mom's up there. What kind of family is this? I'm sorry.
Sebastian Maniscalco and Jim Gaffigan.
I went ziplining for the last time. What is wrong with us? Would you pay $200 to feel like you're about to die 6 times?
Live in Memphis, FedEx Forum, Friday, February 21st. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping. It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
Behind the back to Jerry for the flush.
We're going to need, the Forum rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support.
When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane 3. Yes, sir. Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Live from downtown Memphis, this is the Chris Vernon Show on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Chris Vernon.
What up, everybody? Welcome to the Chris Vernon Show. Obviously, I'm not Chris. I'm John Roser. Chris is gone. He'll be back tomorrow. Devin Walker will also be back tomorrow. He's on an airplane right now, heading back to Memphis from San Francisco. It's the Monday, February 16th, 2025 edition of the show coming up. We do have 10 things from the weekend. NBA All-Star Weekend took place in San Francisco. Oh, we've got hot takes. I've got hot takes. Nah, maybe. Tyler Hero won the three-point contest. Chris Paul and Wemby cheated. Mac McClung three-peated in the dunk contest. Don't sue me, Pat Riley. The Memphis Hustle had 4 players in the next up game. And then the All-Star game happened, and we got to see a lot of Kevin Hart. Tigers went on the road and lost in Wichita. We'll talk about all that. We'll go through the Grizzlies' second half of the schedule. Bennett Doyle, I'm going to put your feet to fire when it comes to the Grizzlies in the second half of the schedule. We got a lot to get to. SNL 50 as well. Turn it up. What up, everybody? Chris Vernon Show here on a Monday. Got my smart water, got my C4. We are all good to go. As I said, the Tigers, bad loss yesterday. All-Star Weekend happened. SNL 50 happened. And did you know Bennett Doyle's here? Bennett Doyle, what's up, man?
Yo, what's up?
Yo, we did still
no
no
theme music. Bennett
still
Doyle.
No theme. I've been here since 8:30 this morning. I could have gotten you some theme music.
It's okay.
So it's my fault on that. Did you know do you know what starts this week?
What?
Spring training.
Oh yeah, I did know that.
In Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Because I was on ESPN.com and I looked at it. It's like 3 baseball stories. And I was like, what baseball? And then I looked up. We're like a month away from opening day, and spring training starts on the 20th.
Yeah, and obviously I'm a baseball guy.
You are a baseball guy.
Apologies if we're boring everyone listening to
Oh, no,
Jeff,
we're getting done with baseball. This is going to be quick.
But I will say I'm not a spring training guy at all.
No.
I'm not a spring training guy.
Have you ever been?
I've never been. I've heard it's awesome.
I've heard it's cool, too.
So my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, they're massive Orioles fans. They live in Baltimore. They go once a year.
Where do they do spring training?
So they do it in...
Are they Florida or Arizona?
Sarasota?
Sarasota?
Yeah,
okay.
It's in Florida.
Some do Florida, some do Arizona, right?
Yeah, but they've been a couple times, and they said it's awesome. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard that about spring training. Yeah, we'll get to the All-Star Weekend stuff. We'll do SNL 50. We got a bunch of stuff to get to. Grizzlies' second half of the schedule. We'll get to that in the second half of 10 Things. But first, all right, let's start 10 Things off.
Okay.
Give me the music. Let's go. Number 1. Oh, my gosh. I didn't even get to see this game because I was out running errands and stuff. after church, I listened to it on the radio. The Tigers losing in overtime as well as this. The Tigers losing in overtime to Wichita yesterday, 84-79. Okay, so I sat in my car outside of the gym for about the last 4 minutes of regulation. I'm just sitting in my car listening to the rest of this game. And then I go in when it goes to overtime. And then I see on Twitter, on X, and it's all falling apart as they lose this game. Okay, Bennett, you're watching this, correct?
I actually was also listening on the radio.
You're listening
and
on the
had
radio
it
too.
on my phone, yeah. So yeah.
It appears they're going to win the game, and then they inbounded the ball to Colby Rogers, and the ball fell off of his foot and went out of bounds?
And that was it.
Yeah,
I mean, then it goes to overtime, and yeah.
Okay, and then the game takes the turn. It goes to overtime, and the Tigers lose. Tyrese Hunter, 24 points. P.J. Haggerty, a terrible game shooting the ball. 4 of 18. Jourdain, 12 points. Moussa Cisse, 12 points, 14 rebounds. The bottom line is, like, dude, I could say you can't lose a game to Wichita State, but you very well can lose a game to Wichita State. I heard Gary. I really should have just said, hey, Jalen, Gary's whole spiel from the 5 stories, 5 things to know, 5 all that. I was like, you should have probably just cut that, and I could replay that. Him talking about Memphis, Wichita State, and why Memphis is able to lose to Wichita State. I heard him say they don't have Derrick Rose, they don't have Chris Douglas Roberts, which they absolutely don't. But you should still beat Wichita State. That's a game you went up. I know PJ Carter came in and hit those 2 back-to-back threes. He went from a 2-point game to an 8-point game with, like, I don't know, was it 10 minutes left in the second half? And the Tigers could never get over the hump. I wanted to call them the Grizzlies. The Tigers could never get over the hump. They could never put the game away. And then Wichita had some dude who's like a 50% free throw shooter freaking start drilling all of his threes, too. Or drilling all of his free throws. I think it was Ballard, they said. So that's how you end up in this situation where the Tigers lose to Wichita. All that gets talked about now is what does this do to their seeding? What does this do to their seeding? The Tigers are now 21-5. They're 11-2 in the AAC. They have 3 quad 3 losses. Nobody else has 3 quad 3 losses, or anybody that's worth a crap has 3 quad 3 losses. And this is just the stuff that happens when you play in this conference because you don't have the talent that an Auburn, a Duke does. So you're not going to be able to just destroy some of these teams. You're going to take some losses. I still will stand on. I think that Arkansas State loss hurts worse than this one and hurts worse than Temple does.
Because it was at home.
Yeah. It's a quad 3 loss. The quads, it's so weird how they do all of the quad, So, like, Arkansas State's not a terrible team, but it's a quad 3. If you had, like, lost it on the road, it would be like a quad 2 loss. But you lost it at home, so it's a quad 3 loss. So it's weird how they do all the quad stuff. But that's the one that's bad because you lose it at home. And I think you could have 2 of these and you'd be all right with your seeding. I think you would be okay. I think you'd probably be looking at maybe a 5-6. But that third one is going to absolutely destroy you in this one. That doesn't destroy you. But you're on the verge of it being possible if you take another one, forget about it.
Yeah, so the thing that you hope is that Wichita State right now, I think GP said it's like 138 in the net. If they move to 135, that becomes a quad 2 loss. So you hope they keep winning. They've won 4 in a row now. The thing that pisses me off the most about it is that loss. It's why I've been screaming so long about get me out of this league, get me out of this league, get me out of this league. It's not because I do think the Tigers are better than in all the other teams in the league.
Are.
Yeah, I do think that.
They're a better program.
But it's not as much about that. Like, anyone can lose to anyone. I acknowledge all that. The problem is, in this league, you have no grounds to make it up. So you take this quad 3 loss yesterday. You don't have an opportunity to make it up in the next game like every other team in the top 25 has a chance to do. Right? Like their next game's against the top 40, top 50 team. Right. So they have a chance to redeem themselves immediately. Memphis doesn't. And an overtime road loss at Wichita State, a proud college basketball program. That place is, packed, the crowd's wild. They love their shockers there, right? A loss like that should not hurt a good basketball team, right? Like, you shouldn't be going from a 4 seed to a 7 seed because of an overtime road loss at Wichita State. I know they're down right now.
Except they suck now, yeah.
I get it, but I'm saying, like,
4 years ago it wouldn't have been.
But on paper, it's bad. In just the eye test and, like,
when Greg Marshall was humiliating his players, it wasn't a bad loss.
I got it. I'm just saying, like, that loss in the grand scheme of things shouldn't be a bad loss for a college basketball team, but it is because of this league that you play in, because you have no way to make it up.
Wichita's part of that league. Like, they're bad. Like, they're not good either, so that's how it becomes a bad loss. Look, when I saw... Look, you've taken losses. These are the Ken Pom numbers. The Ken Pom, it's a loss. Wichita's number 136. Temple's 152. Arkansas State's 88. So Arkansas State's not terrible when it comes to Ken Pom. And that's just only part of what the committee.
They just paid their coach a lot of money.
No, it is. It does you nothing if you win these games. It doesn't help you at all.
Right.
Here's where I don't know if it does. Does it? I think it does help you if you win all of them. It helps you in the sense that, bro, you don't get your ass knocked down to like a 7, 8, or 9 seed if you win them all. Like, is Memphis, if they didn't lose, if they didn't have those losses, because they only had 2 of them before, because the rankings came out Saturday, which we're going to get to the rankings in a second. But before those rankings came out on Saturday, the Tigers had 2 of those quad 3 losses. They only had 2 of them. They had 2 of them. Now it's 3. It's 7 and 3. They only had 2 of them. If they didn't have had those 2, where would they have been seated? Is there a chance they're one of the top 4 seeds?
I think so.
So it does. It doesn't, like, it helps you in the sense that if you beat the crappy teams, you're going to still be having a good seed.
I think the problem is because GP referenced, like, the Calipari era when, and why it's hard to compare the two because
it's impossible to. It's totally different eras of college basketball.
That's the thing, is there's
totally
more parity in the sport now, and so you can't. Yes, okay, it's the good side of being in a crappy league is you can win all these games and just like have a resume full of nothing but wins. The problem is the 1 or 2 losses. It's just like those make it worse. Like, it's like you don't.
No. The losses kill you. The wins,
and it shouldn't be that way.
Right. The wins aren't gonna. So say Memphis. Let's just say Memphis was. I do wonder if they didn't have any of the quad 3 losses. If they had won all of those games, Arkansas State, Temple, Wichita, what would their seed be? Would it be a 4 seed? Would it be a 5 seed? Let's say it's a 4 seed. Okay, there's no way you're becoming a 3 seed. There's no way you're going to be a 3 seed, 2 seed, or 1 seed.
Right.
You're just going to be a 4 seed. Like, that's where it's going to stick you at, and that's just where you will be. But it does tank you when you lose them. Which brings me to number 2. Number 2. The NCAA announced their top 16 seeds. The NCAA announced their top 16 seeds on Saturday. These obviously will change. This is much like how they do with the college football playoff. They announced the college football playoff and the order of it, and then obviously things change based on who wins and who loses each week, so these can change. Your 1 seeds, Auburn, Alabama, Duke, Florida. 2 seeds are Tennessee, Texas A&M, Purdue, and Houston. Your 3 seeds are Iowa State, Kentucky, Wisconsin, and Arizona. Your 4 seeds are Texas Tech, Michigan, Kansas, and St. John's. So you have 1, 2, 3 number 1 seeds in the SEC, 4, 5. You've got 2 seeds in the SEC, and then you got 6 in Kentucky. You've got 6 SEC teams essentially ranked in the top 12 of the entire country, 5 in the top 8 of the country if you just go for the 1s and the 2s.
By the way, AP poll just came out. Tigers are at number 22, which frankly, I think that's better than a lot of people would have anticipated. I'll take it.
I think I saw Parth said it's the biggest drop though of any team. They dropped from 14 to 20. You knew they would.
You knew they were going to drop.
You knew they were going to drop.
I thought it was going to be more like 24, 25. So them being at 22, I'm good good with it. Like
here's what kills you. So the rest of so how it pertains to the Tigers, the NCAA and their top 16 seeds, how it pertains. This is the Tigers' remaining schedule: Florida Atlantic, Rice at home, both of those at home, at UAB, at UTSA, and then home against South Florida. These are their KenPom rankings. Florida Atlantic 102, Rice 179, UAB 113, UTSA 208, South Florida 201. That is god awful for an average rating in KenPom of 160.6. My point was, after that loss, I tweeted out, I said, they're going to end up, when it's all said and done, they're going to end up on that 8-9 line. And I had some people say, no, they can still get a 5, they can still get a 6. I just don't think that is possible at all. You look at these teams that are around that number for them. Look at the teams that are around that area for them. Marquette. Dude, Marquette's worst loss, I'm just going by KenPom, what their worst KenPom loss is Dayton, who's ranked 77th. Ole Miss, seriously, their worst KenPom loss is Memphis. Missouri, their worst KenPom loss is Memphis. Clemson. Now, Clemson's got a bad one. Georgia Tech, 106. But it's still not as bad as Temple and Wichita State, which is yours. And you beat them. You did beat Clemson. Creighton's worst KenPom loss is Georgetown at 85. Maryland, their worst loss is Washington at 94. UCLA, their worst is Rutgers at 73. You know, they lost to New Mexico, and I looked it up. Dude, New Mexico is 38th in KenPom. Michigan State's worst KenPom loss is USC at 56. And then I heard Gary also mentioned, he's talking about the net. The Tigers are 49 in the net right now.
Yeah.
The two teams around them that are sandwiching the Tigers at 49 are San Diego State at 50 and Boise State at 48. Boise State's got a worse one than you do. Boise State has a 205 to Boston College.
Yeah.
That is brutal. San Diego State, their worst is 96 UNLV. So even San Diego State's right there behind you, and they don't have what is considered to be as bad of a loss as two of the Tigers. As two of the Tigers' losses. So I tweeted out, I was like, I think eventually when it's all said and done, they could end up on the 8-9 line. Looking at the rest of their schedule, you could say they lose at UAB. I feel like Penny will probably have them ready for that one. I feel like he will have them ready for that one. They may stay a 7, but they very well could end up on an 8-9. Dude, when I look at
that's a low-key big game.
When I
know that like the opponent, but that's a low-key big game. It got a little that UAB game here.
Yeah,
it got a little
dicey,
got a little testy at the end. I think that there's no love lost. I do think that one could be fun. That's actually, I'm looking forward to that one. Actually,
Jalen is our technical director again today, and he does an amazing job. And he is Tiger Man. Jalen is Tiger Man. Jalen, you can just tell me in my ear, how do you feel? What do you feel like this seed is going to be if they win out? You can just. He says he's sticking with the 7. So
I think that's totally fair.
If you open, no, I think it's totally fair too. If you look at today, Jerry Palm dropped his bracketology. He has Memphis a 7 seed playing Vanderbilt in the first round in Milwaukee.
I would take that.
Milwaukee.
I would take that.
It feeds into Wisconsin, Cleveland State. And just say you made it through there. Say you beat Vanderbilt, you beat Wisconsin, and made it through there. Mm-hmm. You know who you could potentially face if they made it through there? You get a rematch with Ole Miss.
Okay, I like it.
You get a rematch with Ole Miss right there in the Sweet 16 if you all made it through. So he's got him as a 7 seed. He has Memphis as a 7 seed. Other seeds of it, Auburn. He has Auburn, Alabama, Florida, and Duke as the 4 number ones. Nothing changes even after Auburn beat Alabama this weekend. He has Texas A&M and Tennessee both as 2 seeds. He has moved the net. The NCAA announced. No, he does. Still, Houston's as a 2. He has Wisconsin, as I said, Wisconsin as a 2, and the rankings on Saturday came out, had Wisconsin as a 3, but he has them as a 2. He has the 2s as Houston, Wisconsin, Texas A&M, and Tennessee. He has Kentucky as a 4, Ole Miss as a 6, and Oklahoma as a 10. I'm just doing the SEC teams. Where is Mississippi State? Mississippi State got another win. He has Arkansas as an 11, Texas as an 11. They are in the first 4. Where's Mississippi State on here? Mississippi State. Why can I not find Mississippi State? Did he leave Mississippi State off here? Mississippi State's in the tournament, so. Anyways, so that's where it is. Let me ask you this about the Tigers. Because I hear this. It's this conference only hurts you. It only hurts you. Let's say they're a 7 seed. Let's say they're a 7 seed. Do you think if they played in the Big Ten or the ACC that they'd be better than a 7 seed? Because then you're just assuming that
because they'd have more losses.
Exactly.
Yeah, they'd have more losses for sure if they were in a better league. I think that's. Listen, I don't like changing.
But Mississippi State is a 6 seed.
I'm not big on changing expectations based on what we said coming into the season. The majority of people said, "What's the goal coming into this season? Get back to the NCAA tournament."
Right.
They're gonna do, barring a just massive collapse. They're gonna do that.
They'd have to lose all of these games to miss the tournament.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, dude, I think that they'd have to. Well, you say that. I think
3 of them. They lose 3 of them. They'd probably.
But
be
if they
out.
lose 2 more in the AAC and are quick out in the AAC tournament.
Well, that's 3 more games. That's 3 more games. They lose 3 more.
The good thing that we've learned over the past couple of years is the committee doesn't care about conference tournaments at all. That's just not a thing.
No,
really.
they
anymore.
don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. So I think I'm with you. If the Tigers win out, maybe drop 1 more, they should be totally fine. Yeah.
I think conference tournaments are just they're like a random ass bowl games. They're just money grabs.
Yeah,
they are. It is cool in the smaller leagues. It is cool for the random team to jump up and win the league, to win the conference tournament and get to make the NCAA tournament. But it does almost feel like, shouldn't you reward the team whose entire body of work is better than just the 1 week sample size?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
No. Okay, so you do admit, it doesn't mean if they played in the ACC, which isn't even a great league this year,
right,
or the Big 12 or the Big 10, that it doesn't mean they'd be better. They could be a worse seed.
Maybe so. I mean, just watching. I'm not super discouraged. I'm more discouraged about how one loss like that really affects your seeding. I'm not as discouraged with the team because I watched that game on Saturday. I'm okay, PJ Haggerty had a bad game.
Yeah.
Dane Danger had a bad game. They're on the road. It's a hostile environment. It goes to overtime. You lose in overtime. Nothing about that game yesterday made me be oh boy, we're in trouble. They're about to fall off a cliff. I just, turn the ball over late. It's just, that happens in college basketball. I'm more just frustrated with why it hurts you so bad. And that just goes back to the league.
They did have some late turnovers because they had not turned the ball over really that much during that game. They really hadn't. And then they had a couple of late. They did. They ended with 10. But there was a long time where they didn't have. They had 7 turnovers for a good majority. They did not. They were not like the Grizzlies.
Right.
Just throwing the ball all over the damn place. Just getting the ball taken from them. They weren't like that. So you just don't want. If I'm just looking at the bracketology stuff, dude, you just don't want to end up on that damn 8-9 line.
No.
You just don't want to end up there and look, we can sit here and talk about seeding all we want. And this happens in college basketball.
Who plays in the first 4?
Look, they can lose.
Who plays in the first 4? What is it? It's the 2 really low seeds.
So they have, So Jerry Palms, there's 4 games.
Yeah.
In the first 4. He has the games people don't care about are Southeast Missouri State against Quinnipiac.
Yeah.
And American.
Automatic qualifiers, yeah.
And American against Southern. The other 2, he's got Texas against BYU. These are 11 seed games. Texas against BYU and West Virginia against Arkansas.
Okay.
What do you
just you gotta win. You gotta win.
You don't want to be in that first 4.
I don't think you can I think maybe you could lose at UAB.
Yeah.
I do not think you can drop a home game.
And
I don't think that's fair. But I'm just telling you what I know what happens if they drop a home game.
If they drop a game, dude, they're on that 8-9 line. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. They might be anyways. It's still possible they're on that 8-9 game. Dude, they would 100% put them in an 8-9 game against Boise State, feeding into Auburn.
Yep.
They would absolutely do that. Like, I don't, like, we did that and played Gonzaga against Boise State. We beat Boise. We played Gonzaga. Okay, then put us on the 8-9 line against San Diego State, feeding into Auburn or Alabama. But it has us, Jerry Palm's got 7-10 against Vandy. They would not put us against Vandy. They would put us, who are the other 10s? They'd have us play San Diego State just to get one of those out. They have San Diego State as a 10. They'd have us play, we are absolutely playing San Diego State in the first round of the tournament, aren't we? I'm going to call that
realistic.
Memphis is playing San Diego State in the opening round of the NCAA tournament, either as an 8-9 or a 7-10. Now, here's what I will say. I am not going to act like I have watched Wisconsin play basketball. I am going to make it a mind to watch Houston. I was talking to
It ain't your dad's Wisconsin. That's what GP tells me.
Yeah.
This ain't your dad's Wisconsin. They get up and down the floor.
So this is how crazy it is. I had to look this up. I was like, who is their coach? Because Bo Ryan isn't there anymore. No. Bro, it is this guy named Greg Gard. Gary, Gary's not watching this, but I was like, how long is this guy? He hadn't been there that long. Bro, he has been there 10 years. I have no idea who the head coach is.
Right.
I bet you could ask a lot of people watching this show if they knew who the Wisconsin basketball coach is, and they would have no idea. I will say, the only team that I'm like deathly afraid of that I've watched play is Auburn. Because Memphis shot the ball great against Auburn, and they still got their ass beat.
That's right.
Like,
That's right.
I want, like... Because it just may not. Auburn did lose at Duke, but I think on a neutral court, like, dude, I watched Auburn against Alabama. Dude, Auburn went into Tuscaloosa this weekend, 1 versus 2, and they were. I mean, like, you could. It's the eye test. It's like, yo, that Auburn, they are way better than Alabama. Like, they're a lot better than them, and that Alabama team is awesome. But Auburn is at a different level.
Yeah.
And I think, and I've seen Duke play, and Cooper Flagg's amazing, and they've got awesome players too, but I would bet neutral court. I don't know how anybody beats Auburn in the tournament.
I'm with you.
Florida's interesting because Florida does rebound the ball well, so Florida can get big and they rebound the ball, and they actually may not be intimidated by the size. But Auburn's entire team's like 26 years old. They got a bunch of freaking DeAndre Williams on their team. So, anyways. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Just don't end up on the 8-9 line because some of these twos, I would love to play Tennessee in the second round. That Tennessee team, dude, that Tennessee team is like...
Oh, they would fold.
Their offense is going to do them in.
They would fold, Evan.
They depend on the Lanier kid. They've got one of the all-time great names in Zeke Ziegler in college basketball, an amazing name. But
I believe it's Zakai.
Yeah, we call him Zeke. Call him Zeke Ziegler. Yeah, no, can't. And Lanier, they depend on Lanier. And if Lanier's awesome, then they can be awesome. And if he's not, like, dude, you can beat Tennessee. But defensively, they're great. I would have no issue playing them. We know what Texas A&M is. We played Texas A&M last year in College Station and beat them. And then Houston is terrifying because Houston will murder you. They are just tough as hell. Number 3. NBA All-Star Saturday night.
All right, let's go.
All right. So I didn't get to see Friday night. I was out to eat Valentine's Day with the girlfriend. Did you go out? We'll get to Valentine's Day. We'll get to that later on number 6. So I didn't get to see the Rising Stars on Friday, but Jalen Wells and Zach Edey's team made it through. We'll get to that in number 4 here in a second. But number 3, NBA All-Star Saturday night. You have to get, when the NBA announces that the Steph Curry, Sabrina Ionescu thing fell through because they just couldn't make it as big as they wanted to. I mean, the NBA, I was there in Charlotte when they created an exception and had Dwayne Wade and Dirk Nowitzki in the All-Star game. Like, they gave them spots on the All-Star team. Because it was going to be their last season. They were giving them spots on the All-Star team to honor them. Dirk came out in that game. Charlotte hit 3 threes right off the bat. It was freaking awesome. Place was going nuts. It was amazing. Freaking Tyrion Lannister, Peter Dinklage is sitting across from me, his little legs flop. Dude, it's amazing. So cool. Dude, I was, man. Dude, I was so starstruck at my first All-Star game.
That's pretty cool.
Antonio Brown was a section over from me wearing some big-ass fur coat.
Nice.
If I would have known that, I would have definitely gone up and gotten a picture with Antonio Brown. 2 Chainz and Robert Kraft are sitting down here with, I think, Meek Mill was down there. It was amazing. But all that to say, they created special roster spots for Dirk Nowitzki and Dwayne Wade. So once you know that falls through, dude, you have to get Steph Curry to do the three-point contest. You have to.
Yeah, I think so.
He's the host. I know Draymond.
Maybe he didn't want to overshadow his teammate who was in it.
Oh, my God.
I know.
Buddy Hield. Who cares?
I'm with you.
Who gives a crap about Buddy Hield? He did put on the best shooting display in that round, his first round. He did.
Was good.
He did. He had 31. Dude, you've got to get Steph Curry to do it.
I think so, too.
You absolutely have to get Steph Curry to do it. And screw you, Chris Paul and Wemby.
That was weak.
Like Saturday, I know Friday night technically kicks it off with the celebrity game and the Rising Stars game. But really, most fans start tuning in. NBA All-Star Saturday night is when you start watching. And the very first event, the very first team that goes is Chris Paul and Wemby.
Wemby's supposed to save this thing, bro. He's part of the generation that's got to save this thing. He's got to
save
it.
And
he's coming out and cheating. Like, I was just like, dude, come on.
Come on,
like,
man.
That was so lame.
It was so lame.
I bet Adam Silver was
pissed.
Well,
that's what they disqualified him immediately.
Yeah, because
I don't even know. And they say you have to have valid shot attempts. So that's how that's the loophole that they got around, because those are not valid shot attempts. Because you know, like Vince McMahon in WWE, he's always in the announcer's ears. Like Michael Cole and those guys, like he could always talk to them in their headset.
Yeah.
He's always watching it live. And like Triple H and those guys are doing the same in the back. Like if Adam Silver's on their heads, he's like, disqualify them now. I don't care. Disqualify them and we'll figure it out. You're not doing that. And the crowd booed him too, so good on the crowd for booing them. What I'm more disappointed in is that freaking it was Wemby's idea, because that had to be some Chris Paul stuff rubbing off on him, because that is absolutely some Chris Paul-ish right there.
I mean, that's like, when people like want to talk about like the people that are screaming, it's boring, it sucks, nobody watches, blah, 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 blah. Like that, right? You can point at that thing right there and be like,
that is exactly why people are like, screw this, man.
Yeah. Now, I would argue like the skills challenge,
whatever.
It sucks anyway. It's so boring.
It was. Look, if you're a Draymond hater, you enjoyed it, because that dude, Moses Moody, flew through that skills challenge, and then Draymond just crapped on himself. He pulled a Jimmy Butler.
I'm with you.
In his pants.
I saw that with Wemby, and I'm just thinking, bro, you're supposed to save this thing.
You're supposed to everybody talks about
this is about to be yours in the next couple years. Yeah.
And you're gonna save all of this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then who won the Tyler Hero won, right? Yeah. Tyler Hero won the 3-point contest. And we get to the dunk. The 3-point contest was. I love the 3-point contest.
Well, hang on. Real quick, Friday night, like I was invested because of our guys. Like I wanted them to be able to play Sunday, so that was kind of fun. I will say, who was our coach? Was it Chris Mullen? Was Chris Mullen our coach on the Rising Stars team?
Oh yeah.
Why do you keep benching Edie and Jalen Wells at the same time? Like he did it in the Sunday game too.
We gotta bench him. Gotta put him on the bench.
The only two.
Is that my Chris Mullen impression? He's got like that big New York accent.
Again, who cares in the grand scheme of things? But like I'm watching the game, I'm like, why the hell are the only two players on the bench, Zach Edey and Jalen Wells? Why is he doing this multiple times? Like, put their asses back in the game, dude.
Yeah, we're trying to watch our guys play.
Yeah.
And those guys aren't trying that are out there either.
I know. Yeah, that was lame.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Jello performed, I will say, from performance 1 at the Lions Commanders playoff game to performance 2 at All-Star Saturday night, much better.
Yeah, okay.
Much better.
I think I agree.
I thought he did much better. He actually spoke into the microphone. As opposed to the Lions Commanders, the music just played. It was horrible. And looked like he never had performed before, which he probably hadn't performed really in front of a crowd before. So I think Jello did much better. It is going to be awesome in 2043 when we have 2020s night at FedEx Forum and we have Jello here to perform that song.
That is absolutely going to happen. That will absolutely
100%.
Yes.
It is going to be January 18th, 2042. The Memphis Grizzlies are going to be hosting the the London Porridge. We'll have a team in London by then. They'll be hosting
the Porridge. I like that.
Porridge.
The London Porridge sounds awesome.
The Memphis Grizzlies will host the London Porridge at FedEx Forum on January 18th, 2042. And for 2020's night, they will have Jello performing Tweaker at halftime. And he will also be performing one of his new songs too. Because
there's always a new track.
I remember when Tommy Two-Tone came here and did, the 8675309, and then he also was like, "This is off my new album." I was like, boo. Boo. We ain't here to see all that. Just play the one song we know.
Yeah.
Dunk contest. I've seen some people that say Stephon Castle should have won, that his dunks were actually ended up being
more
better,
athletic. Yeah.
More athletic, and his dunk should have won. You think, dude, you ain't going to remember any of Stephon Castle's dunks. Nobody. I can't even remember Stephon Castle's dunks anymore. I remember Mac McClung's dunks. I'm going to remember that. So Mac McClung 100% should have won. You tell me what are things I'm going to remember from All-Star. What I would remember. I will remember two things. I will remember Mac McClung dunking like that over the Kia. I will remember that because he almost freaking broke his leg. I'll remember the dunk over the Kia. And I will remember Wemby and Chris Paul cheating. I'm absolutely going to remember that. And Evan Mobley talking after they won the skills challenge, who seemingly had Evan Mobley acted as if he seemed as if he had never done an interview before with anybody. He was like, "We started strong. We're playing strong. We're going to finish strong." Okay, cool.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Yeah, anything else? I thought, I saw too, Mac McClung.
Mac McClung was awesome.
He has won more. He has gotten more money off of the 3 dunk contest appearances than career, or 3 dunk contest wins than career earnings.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool.
So here's the thing. Two-way players this year, dude, Mac McClung's going to make more than that this year. Mac McClung's going to make over $500,000 this year on a two-way contract.
Yeah.
So, when I saw that, I was like, two-way contracts have gone up now, and he's on one with the Magic. I will say, I saw Mac McClung. He played here. He played here this year. They played a back-to-back here, but one of the games, it was the kids game. We had a bunch of kids there. We have 2 kids games a year now at the Hustle. And he played in one of them, the one earlier in the year. And it was cool that we played them because those kids,
they know him.
Some of them actually knew who he was.
Yeah,
not all of them. They don't know. There's
contest,
5,000-6,000 of them. They don't. But they did know him, and so that was cool that they actually knew one of the players that was out there. But yeah, I'll remember Mac McClung's dunk over the Kia, and I will remember Chris Paul and Wemby cheating. And I'll believe it when I see it. Do you think Ja's going to do the dunk contest?
Okay.
Because we are in this era, thanks to LeBron James, where everybody's too cool for school.
Right.
Everybody's too cool for too cool for school and can't do anything because they don't want to embarrass themselves.
Yeah. My first reaction to that would say no. He probably won't.
And then Giannis said, "If you do it, I'll do it."
I mean, I will say I think that the league.
And then Zach LaVine jumped in and said, "I may have to run it back."
I think the league's going to try to make it happen. I mean, you want to boost your Saturday night ratings for All-Star? Get those guys in the dunk contest. And that'll do it.
Aaron Gordon said he was never going to do it again after he got robbed. I was at.
Oh yeah, I remember that. He got pissed.
Aaron Gordon. I believe it was. Let me see I think that was the one in Charlotte that I was at.
I don't know. I mean, for me, I don't know why.
Or maybe it was Chicago.
What's the downside of doing it? That people just, you miss some dunks and people.
Yeah, it was Chicago. It was Derrick Jones Jr. and Aaron Gordon.
Yeah.
And I was there for it. I was there. Aaron Gordon should have won that.
I remember that,
and it was
too.
Dwayne Wade was one of the judges.
Yep, I remember that, too.
It was Dwayne Wade was one of the judges, and he gave it to Derrick Jones Jr. because he played with him in Miami.
So
gave him a 9, yeah.
What's the downside of those guys being in the All-Star or being in the dunk contest?
So I think Zach LaVine's like, dude, I've proven myself in it. Why do I have to keep doing it? I get Zach LaVine does not have to do a dunk contest.
Okay.
If Zach LaVine doesn't want to do a dunk contest, Zach LaVine has proven himself, and he doesn't have to, and Aaron Gordon doesn't have to either. Those dudes gave us awesome dunk contests and memories.
I mean, fair enough, but at the same time, like, what does it do to tarnish your legacy if you go out there and miss a couple dunks?
I don't think Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon have legacies. So
I'm
whatever
just saying,
for
like,
them.
it's a cool TV product if you get like massive names in it. I don't know why. I don't know what it hurts to go and do it.
Jalen Green did it one year. Get Jalen Green back in it because he's definitely a bigger name now than he was before. It's lame LeBron never did it. It just is. It's lame as hell he never did it.
I agree.
Zion should do it, and Ja Morant should do it. Is Giannis too old to do it now?
Well,
I mean, he's only like 29. He said he'd do it. I'd get Giannis out there.
Oh, he did it
Giannis
before?
did it?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember Giannis doing the dunk contest. Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Giannis did it the first year Levine won.
I'd love to see it. I mean, I think that, like, literally when we talk, another thing too, like, obviously the big reaction today is, you know, it's stale. You know, what's wrong with it? What's happened to it? I will say, dude, just like being online, I know I'm chronically online. That's all anybody was talking about on Sunday. All-Star and SNL 50. I mean, there's
an All-Star game in SNL 50.
Yeah, I mean, somebody had to have been watching it.
We got different timelines. So I got that. I got SNL 50, All-Star, and the Drake album sucks.
Yeah, okay.
I got that. That's a little bit mixed in with mine. Yeah.
Yeah. But people were listening to it. But that's the thing. Like, I mean,
yes.
You know, somebody's watching. I don't know. I brought this up to GP.
Well, the NBA is super popular on social media. It just is.
For sure. I brought this up to GP. The moment that I loved was when Draymond, because Draymond, they were doing like a pregame thing, and Draymond's on it, Charles Barkley's on it, and Draymond's like talking about all this gimmicky stuff and having the rookies playing the All-Star game and blah, blah, blah.
I've got this on here. We're
going to get to that?
We're getting to that. Number 4 is the All-Star game. Number 4 is the actual All-Star game. And then what you're talking about, we'll get to that after this.
Yeah, okay.
Number 4 is the actual All-Star game. Jaren Jackson Jr. tried, and then you see that final play where Gilgeous-Alexander drives by him and score. You can see Jaren is like playing him to his side play. He is waiting for somebody to come help.
Folks are like, oh, look what happened. Yeah, he tried to play defense and lost the game.
He's waiting for help.
He's the only one trying.
Yeah, he's waiting for help to come because that's what he does. He waits for the help, and then he blocks a shot. Well, the help never came. And I will say, Jaren probably should have known, hey, I'm not going to get help in this game. But kudos to Jaren for trying.
Yes.
I appreciate that. Wemby tried a little bit in that game too. And then the Rising Stars played the OGs with Curry and Durant and Jason Tatum. See, here it is. Look at that. See, he's waiting for somebody to step up, and
Brunson,
nobody
what are you
does.
doing?
Nobody does anything.
Get in there
to step in the way. Nobody tries to step in the way.
Look at Brunson. Move, dude.
Yeah. Jalen Brunson's like, I got a weekend from Tom Thibodeau. Away from Tom Thibodeau. I am not playing defense right now. I have to do this enough. Thibodeau makes us do this in practice.
It's frustrating.
And then the Rising Stars played the OGs, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kyrie Irving squad. They played the Rising Stars. And it got competitive at the end of it. And it got competitive because
you can't lose to those guys.
And they kept missing shots.
Yeah.
Which gave the Rising Stars
a chance.
Hey, we may actually be able to. And so then they started playing a little bit. I was disappointed in the Rising Stars that they didn't play hard to start that game. They didn't. They did not, they were just lollygagging too. And it's like, yo, man.
Let's go.
Go freaking put an elbow into one of these dudes.
I know, man.
Amin Thompson. I love Amin Thompson. And that dude didn't give a crap. Just lazy the entire time. I hated that. I wish he would have played harder. they did have some guys that were playing. Dalton Connect. Jalen Wells hit a shot, hit a little fadeaway. Mm-hmm. But I wish that Rising Stars team would have played harder. Like, step up to those guys, man.
Yep. Yeah.
Make them play hard. Make them play hard. Bump them on screens, whatever. Hit them on everything. Make them feel you. And they just didn't do it, and that was disappointing. And then we got to the final game, which, holy crap. This game took 2 hours. This game took forever between Chuck's Global and Shaq's OGs. When they do all-star drafting, all-star team drafting, however they do it, if they don't go back to East-West and they're going to do team drafting again, with captains drafting the teams, bro, nobody needs to take Jokic. He doesn't care about this. He doesn't want to be there. His game is not suited for an all-star game. We have to take aside from the fact that the best player in the world is not suited for all-star games. But what did they all right, so Kevin Hart, I actually thought Kevin Hart was kind of funny. I know a lot of people hating on Kevin Hart.
I did not think it was
funny. When
funny.
Kevin Hart told Shaq, he said, "Why are you dressed like a porn director?" On national television, I laughed. And when he told Charles Barkley, when he put on Shaq's hat, he said, "You look like you're about to be in a Tyler Perry play."
I just thought, dude, I don't know.
I thought those were funny. The rest of it, dude, Kevin Hart is the booty call. He is the booty call for the NBA or for TV networks. When they need somebody hey, we need somebody who can be professional, but also is a little bit edgy and funny.
Yeah.
They call Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is the booty call for any kind of, it's an all-star game. It's an award show. It's some kind of, the Olympics. Remember the Olympics? Kevin Hart, did he do something with Snoop Dogg for the Olympics? It is. We need somebody a little funny, a little edgy, who may know a little bit about sports. They call Kevin Hart.
I thought it was weird when they were honoring the TV guys, and he was on the mic when they were honoring Chuck and Shaq and Kenny and Ernie. And they brought out the rings and the jerseys and stuff like that.
And they had them dressed up like they're gone fishing.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here watching. I'm like, what is this? Because at first I'm like, oh, this is going to be really emotional.
Yeah.
This is this is sad. These guys are they're a big part of the NBA, and we don't know what the future holds. And so, but then they did the gone fishing thing, and that was kind of funny. But then they let all the guys talk individually in their gone fishing gear and and it was just it was weird to see they're trying to be serious and emotional about it while wearing all the gone fishing stuff, and I'm just what are they trying to do here? I don't know. I didn't think
I didn't
think it came off great.
Well, the other thing is it took forever. It took forever. It took forever.
Too many breaks.
It doesn't need to take them. When they restarted the game after that, because they're playing to 40, dude, they restarted. I had forgotten what the score was when they stopped the game. That's how long it was.
Yeah.
Dude, it was 11-1.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, they still got to get to 40. It's it's 11-1. That game took forever. Jalen, do we have that graphic? There it is. 42 minutes of actual basketball was played in a 3-hour All-Star game, minus the minutes and breakdown. Game 1 was 12 minutes, Game 2 was 16 minutes, and Game 3 was 14 minutes.
I kind of liked the Mr. Beast thing. That was a nice moment.
You like the Mr. Beast thing. The guy who won's name was Jaron, and his dad bought him tickets to the game that day when the prices dropped. So
that was cool because he hits the buzzer beater. Yeah, that was cool.
It is a cool story. I didn't have a problem with that. I didn't have a problem with that because it was between games. I didn't have a problem with that. If they would have stopped stop the game in the middle of it, a timeout between the Kenny versus Chuck game, say 6 minutes into that, they stopped it to do the Mr. Beast challenge.
Yeah.
That's similar to what they did in the final game when they stopped to honor TNT. They just stopped the entire game and do a whole new presentation on something. And it is hey, man, we would like to watch basketball.
Right.
We are basketball fans. We do want to watch basketball, which brings us to number 4, Draymond Green and LeBron James this weekend. So Draymond Green.
Watch yourself, bro.
What?
Just watch yourself.
What do you mean, watch myself?
I'm talking about our king.
Oh gosh, our king.
Just be careful.
Draymond Green. So Draymond Green made a little bit of news because Draymond does. I love that Dalton Connect, when they asked him about it, he said, that's just Draymond. He loves to talk. He's just talking. So Draymond Green was asked a simple question. Does he think the NBA game is boring? Quote, absolutely, he said. I think as a league now, we look so deep into analytics, and you hear people saying out loud, we want a three or a layup. Don't be shooting too many mid-range jumpers. That's what Damian Lillard said on Saturday. And anyways, Draymond Green, yeah. He said it's all, what did he say? He was talking about Kobe saying that it was all penetrating pitch. You may take the shot, you may not, but that's what it all is. But yeah, Draymond Green says the game is boring. And it's not as exciting due to it being less physical. There's the entire quote. It might be, and then Oscar Robertson says it might be boring to him because he's not passing the ball to Steph Curry. What's he doing? Not a single thing because he knows how to play basketball, but he's passed the ball to Curry more than anyone. So Draymond Green says the game is boring. The NBA, dude, the NBA is not boring. Like, the NBA is not boring. The NBA is not. Do I wish teams, do I find it refreshing? I actually talked to our buddy John Martin this weekend. I was talking to him, and I was like, you know, it is, I've started to try to watch more college basketball this year. I've watched more SEC teams than anything because the SEC is awesome and it's local outside of the Tigers. I've watched more SEC games, and I did say, I was like, you know, I do appreciate that college basketball teams, and even in the same conferences and everything, and there are different styles of play, and it does make it fun. It does make it more fun. The players are not as good because the NBA has the best players in the world, so the players are not as good. But it is interesting when you do have a contrast of styles going against each other, which style will prevail. Whereas the entire NBA, yes, I do agree that a lot of teams play the exact same way. They shoot up a lot of threes. Some teams take that to a higher extreme than others, a.k.a. the Boston Celtics or the world champs who shoot 1 million threes a game. But the NBA is not boring. The NBA is not boring. It's not at all. All the NBA has become is, I've said this to you all off the air, the NBA is Major League Baseball in America now. In America, the NBA is Major League Baseball. There are 30 teams in the NBA. This is why. There are 30 teams in the NBA, and they all play 82 games. There are 2,460 regular season NBA games a year. That is a lot of games. People cannot keep up with all of that. They could not just sit there and watch NBA game after NBA game after NBA game. To further say my point, the NBA's national TV ratings across ABC, ESPN, and TNT in 2019-2020 were 1.62 million. The year after that, 1.34. The year after that, 1.61 million. The year after that, 1.59. And then 23-24, 1.56 million. That's the average across the cable and ABC, ESPN. The average is 1.56 million. Major League Baseball, the last 2 years, regular season, they averaged 1.45 million on ESPN. They averaged 1.89 on Fox. They averaged, and then this year, 2024, 1.56 million on ESPN, 1.98 million on Fox. The average of those 2 years, 1.67 million and 1.77 million is what you get for those 2 years. Look at the World Series ratings. Yankees-Dodgers, 15.1 million is the average viewing audience per game. 2023, it's 9.08 million. That's Rangers-Diamondbacks.
Right, okay, so that makes sense.
11.7 million the year before that, 11.7 million the year before that. Astros-Phillies, Braves-Astros. The NBA Finals this past year, 11.31 million for the Celtics and Mavericks. For the Nuggets and Heat, 11.64 million. For the Warriors and Celtics, 12.4 million. For the Bucks and the Suns, 9.9 million. The NBA is, in America, it is Major League Baseball. The NBA is way more popular globally. Adam Silver talks about it. The NBA is not boring. It's just the majority of our audience, I'm telling you, the majority of the people, there are some people out there watching, listening, chatting, that do watch a ton of national NBA games, that watch more than just the Grizzlies. But the overwhelming majority, you just watch your local team. Gary's talked about this within baseball. Bro, he watches the Mets. He knows what's still going on with the standings and has an idea of the playoff teams and the playoff races and who's doing what in each division. But he can't go in depth on some of these teams because he can't watch them like that. But he can tell you everything about the New York Mets because that's the team he watches. The NFL is so different in all this because essentially, for the most part, it's 1 day a week. You devote your time to 1 day a week. If you want to watch all these NBA games, you literally have to watch every day of the week. Like, there's multiple games on every night. Like, it's a lot for people to do. So, I say all that to say with Draymond, dude, the NBA is not boring. If you've ever been, we're at games all the time. They're not boring.
No.
Our games are not boring. Like, when the team sucks, do the games get boring? Yes, but that's any sport. Like any sport. You love the Tennessee Titans when Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill and A.J. Brown are leading you to AFC Championship games.
Nah, it's true.
And this season, it sucked. Like, it's
not fun.
And it's the same thing with Major League Baseball, too. Now, LeBron James. That was weak.
I can't argue with that.
That was weak as hell, man.
I think okay.
It's your league. It's your league still. You are still the face of the NBA. And if you want to know why some of these dudes don't take any of this crap serious on All-Star Weekend, it's because you don't even show up to the press conference stuff on Saturday for Media Day. You literally show up an hour before the game on Sunday and say, I'm not playing.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that, again.
Thank you, LeBron. Appreciate everything you do for the game. I'm dead serious. What is one thing I cannot wait for this generation of players to be retired. What is one thing LeBron James has done that will make you say, when he's retired, thanks for that, LeBron. That's what you did for basketball.
Oh,
thank you.
I mean, dude, like some of those final series. I mean, obviously the Cleveland Golden State series.
Yeah, bro, it's a great finals. We've seen great finals. They've happened. Great NBA finals happens. They happen. We've seen them before. Okay. Where you're gonna go, thank you for that. Like Magic and Bird, dude. Like the NBA was tape delayed. Like the NBA finals were tape delayed before Magic and Bird. Jordan. But we got signature sneakers out of that. Everything Nike is. Like, literally, Nike should bow down to Michael Jordan. Like, we have Nike because of Michael Jordan. We also have the game as globally as it is because of Michael Jordan and the Dream Team. Mm-hmm. What are you thanking LeBron for when he's retired?
The Redeem Team.
You're thanking him? That was Kobe. That was
LeBron
Kobe.
was on that team.
That was Kobe. Kobe, I'm running through Pau Gasol's chest. You're proving my point. No, I'm running through Pau Gasol's chest.
Listen, man, I'm a huge LeBron fan. I can't argue with that because here's the thing.
Do we get player empowerment, which has led to nobody playing or players not playing in regular season games, or all these players joining up and playing with each other? We got KD on the Warriors. LeBron started it all doing the big three with Bosh and Dwayne Wade.
I mean, I do think that that spot could have gone to someone else.
Or players quitting when they won out of their teams. Like, that's kind of what it created. Like, Anthony Davis to the Lakers. It's like, hey, man, just don't play hard.
Like, I saw someone say this earlier. Like, I understand that you don't get paid more money for making all-star team. I get that. But that is a big deal for players to Gary made the point. Wally Zerbiak, one-time all-star, a guy that he does, he does TV with a lot now. He's a one-time all-star. But you best believe every time he's introduced anywhere, he's introduced as former NBA all-star Wally Zerbiak. That's a big deal for guys to have that attached to them.
It is.
Somebody else could have gotten that spot.
Somebody could have gotten that spot.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory? This is LeBron's way of down the line getting rid of All-Star Weekend. This is one of his power moves to try to get rid of the NBA to get rid of All-Star Weekend.
Why?
Because the players would rather take vacations.
Well, okay,
it is tough to care.
dude.
If the players don't care, why should we care? But it maybe a lot of it for us is nostalgia because we didn't have all these devices when we grew up.
Brother,
so
that would be the worst thing for the league. You want to know why? Like,
if the league just took a week off in the middle of the season.
Are you kidding me? Any talk that you have about it, like people, it's just thrown out the window.
The All-Star Weekend gives you something to talk about. Yeah, no, because if you just say we're taking a week off in the middle of the year, which LeBron's already taken 2 weeks off in the middle of the season. He did that earlier this year.
Right.
Without being Dennis Rodman. Like, at least show up on WWE Raw or something, LeBron. But I do, bro, he did it. I was in Salt Lake City. He didn't show up. He didn't show up to his press conferencing. He didn't show up until the day of the game. He didn't show up until the day of the game. But it's like, dude, like you're supposed to be the face of the league, and you literally are like, well, you are like you're pissing on everything.
Also,
like, man, it's like it's a premier thing for the league,
and then like
it sucks, man.
Taking the picture with your street clothes on.
Yes.
Like what? You can't put the jersey on.
Yeah,
like, even if you're not gonna play.
Yeah, you can't even put the uniform on. You can't even put the uniform on. Like, dude, he sucks.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. It was a bad moment. He does not suck.
He's got a million bad moments.
Nah, dude.
I cannot wait for him to be retired.
Well, you might have to wait a minute.
Seriously.
You might have to wait a minute.
And I thought we were all going to be better because it's going to be Wemby's league, and then he went out and cheated in the freaking skills challenge.
I didn't like that.
No. And he took, I thought that was a total Chris Paul thing, and Wemby took responsibility for it.
It's tough. That's tough.
It is tough.
Yeah, that's tough.
All right, we're going to take a break.
Okay.
I'm done talking. LeBron.
Hey, by the way, Barkley,
humbug.
We were talking about the Draymond thing.
Yeah.
Barkley put him in his place when he was like, bro, your generation ruined the All-Star game. Don't be talking about it, because Draymond was talking about it sucks now, all the gimmicks, what are they doing? Why are the rookies playing in this game? But they're trying stuff because y'all don't care.
Here's the other thing, too.
Y'all didn't care for years.
Here's the thing. One of them brought up, and it said, look, man, like you guys in pickup games in the summertime, you guys, like, you don't treat it like a regular season NBA game in the summertime when you're playing pickup, but you guys do play with intensity against each other.
For sure.
Play like that.
Play like that.
And then it's what it used to be, and you play like that. And when you get to the fourth quarter and it starts to get to be a game, well, then you actually start really playing.
Yeah.
You start really playing ball. All right. When we get back, we'll do the second half of 10 Things. I'm John Roser. He's been at Doyle. We're filling in for Chris Vernon. No thank you to LeBron. We'll be back.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Durant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans, and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball. But the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board. A class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Norris one-handed on the feed.
If you go to a hustle game, you're going to see a very fast-paced game. A lot of action, both offensively, defensively.
Nice rejection right there.
In a great environment at the Lander Center. You could bring family there, kids are running around.
Down the lane and one for Zion Poland.
And then you're going to see a lot of talented basketball players competing at a high level.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
It's your turn to drive into luxury at Southland Casino Hotel. Join us on Saturdays to win your share of up to $1 million in free play and prizes. And don't miss the chance to take home luxury itself during the grand finale drawings. Drive off in a 2025 Land Rover on February 1st or a 2025 Range Rover on March 1st. 2 vehicles, 2 finales, 1 million ways to enjoy luxury only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Welcome back to the Chris Vernon Show on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, back to your host, Chris
On one morning
Vernon.
bright and clear, my old folks and I drew near, just a village down in sunny Tennessee. I'd been speeding on that train that would bring me back again to that girl I left in sunny Tennessee. I could hear those voices say.
We are back. Chris Vernon Show. John Roser, Bennett Doyle. Chris will be back tomorrow. Devin's on a plane, currently back from All-Star Weekend in San Francisco. I didn't get to mention it. Shout out to our hustle guys. Yuki, Mal Pereira, Armando Baycott, and DJ Stewart all playing in the G League Next Up game. Armando's team actually won the Next Up.
Oh, nice.
The Next Up tournament. Yeah.
I saw Yuki was getting a lot of love.
I will
weekend.
say, man, if you didn't like the All-Star game and thought they didn't try, man, Next Up game, dude.
Oh no.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. They did not much trying there.
That's
and
tough.
Look, like, the NBA is going to be fine. They just signed like a massive new media rights deal. Like, the NBA is fine. Like, anybody's like, the NBA is dying. No, it is not. Not at all. The NBA actually is in great shape because Adam Silver's job is to make the owners money, and they are doing that. So let's get into the rest of it. 10 things. Let's go. Hit the music. There we go. All right, number 6. What did we watch? Bennett, what'd you watch?
Okay.
No SNL 50. We'll get to that.
Okay, yeah. Well, I did watch that. We'll talk about that. I watched, it was an awesome weekend, by the way. I mean, I watched all the All-Star stuff, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Watched a lot of college hoops. I did watch the Daytona 500. Not because I'm a NASCAR guy, contrary to popular belief. You know, everyone just assumes that I'm like a NASCAR guy. Yeah. Jalen says, you just look at me, you would think I'm a NASCAR guy. I'm not. I did watch the Daytona 500.
You watch Daytona?
I did. Well, because it was I had a little money on it, and it was in a delay. Like it aired in prime time because they had like a super long rain delay, so the thing actually aired in prime time. And dude, I will say, like in this HD, everybody's got a cool TV with great sound. The TVs are better than they've ever been before, right? NASCAR's kind of cool, man. When you flip it on, it's loud. Like it's it looks cool. Like I'm not a NASCAR guy, but I'm not gonna sit here and hate on NASCAR. Sometimes I have a good time watching it. Maybe I will become a NASCAR guy. So I watched a little bit of that too. And I watched a movie this weekend.
What'd you watch?
A movie called The Gorge. It's on Apple, so most people can.
Is it about the music venue in Seattle?
No, it is not. It is not. Shout out to that.
It's a science fiction
Shout out
horror.
to the Gorge in Seattle, though. No, this is about. It stars Miles Teller. And
I've heard he's a prick.
No,
that he's like in real life, he's kind of a jerk. Like
really?
not approachable. Like the Miles Teller you saw in Project X.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like really him. He's
Oh,
kind of a
damn.
jerk, yeah.
That's disappointing. He's like a big deadhead. I wanted to believe he was a cool dude.
Oh, and the girl from Queen's
Anya
Gambit.
Taylor-Joy, yes. It's Furiosa as well.
Sigourney Weaver.
Okay, so it's like it actually was. I thought it was gonna suck. Like I'd heard people talking about this movie, and I was like, it's like a sci-fi movie. They got these two big stars. I haven't heard a lot about it. But it's on Apple TV. I'll watch it. It wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good. It's I don't know if I want to give it away because there's like a reveal or whatever, but I thought like the first 30 minutes when you're trying to figure out what the hell's up with the Gorge, what's going on in the Gorge, and it's kind of got like a spy, espionage type feel to it. I thought that was cool. And yeah, it's like it's just a good like mindless entertainment type of movie. Like anyone could flip that on for a movie night and be like, okay, like I'm kind of digging this. Like you said, it's sci-fi. There's a lot of action. You got two big time stars in the movie. I liked it. I liked The Gorge. I would recommend to anyone.
Yeah. So it got it is, let's see, 64% from the critics, 77% from the audience.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying. It's a fine movie. It's not gonna win awards, but like if you're just looking for something to be entertained by, definitely check it out.
Let's see. There are any critics here? Oh, Benjamin Lee from The Guardian.
All right, let's hear it.
Says, despite looking like it was based on a video game that your younger brother obsessively plays, The Gorge is in fact an original, or whatever that word means, when the plot and aesthetic feel like they've been stitched together from so many other films.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment, Benjamin. That's a fair assessment. There are times when it did look like a video game. You know what it reminded me a lot of was The Last of Us. That's what the movie kind of reminded me of. And people that see it'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But no, man, it was cool. Like, it had me interested. Like, the first 30 minutes, you're like, what's going on? Like, it's got a cool mystery vibe to it. And then you get the big reveal, and there's a bunch of action and whatnot. I liked it. I thought it was good.
Jonathan Romney from the Financial Times says...
Where the hell did they start doing movie reviews?
He's a top critic.
Okay.
He's a top critic. The Gorge is drab stuff with a mechanical video game feel, devolving into an unwieldy mess of effects that suggests a cut-price hybrid of Lovecraft-style crawling chaos and B-movie Science Gone Too Far.
I like Science Gone Too Far.
How did somebody write that?
I like Science Gone Too Far.
I just can't believe somebody wrote that.
The key to a great science fiction movie is Science Gone Too Far, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah. All right. Did you go anywhere? Did you go out to eat anywhere?
No, I cooked. Cooked on Valentine's Day. So we just chilled at the house. My wife's birthday's this weekend.
Okay.
So happy birthday, Kara. And so we're gonna go go out this weekend.
Yeah. There you go. Does she know where you're taking her?
No, not yet.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah.
All right. I watched The Pitt. It's a medical drama on Max. HBO
this is
Max.
Dr. Carter.
It is Noah Wiley. Yeah.
Yeah,
Noah Wiley.
I saw that and I was like, Man, that is really all he's ever done was medical dramas. That's like his whole career.
I will tell you, dude, he is freaking awesome.
He's got it down, dude.
He is awesome at it. The Pitt is an American medical drama television series. Each episode, so this is how it goes. There are, they've only done 7 episodes so far.
Okay.
So each episode covers 1 hour. There's going to be 15 episodes. But each episode covers 1 hour of a single 15-hour emergency department shift. So it's the fictional Pittsburgh Trauma Medical Hospital. So it's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Basically, how frontline emergency room healthcare workers, what it's really like for them on any given day, any given night during a shift. And each episode is 1 hour of the shift. So I have watched the first 5 episodes, and I could tell you, dude, watch it. It's great.
Okay.
It is.
All
It's
right.
great. It's great. It's not a drama in the sense of ER. It definitely feels way more real life. Like if The Wire was a medical drama, you know, kind of like that kind of feel to it.
Where does this take place?
In Pittsburgh.
Gotcha.
In
the
Pittsburgh.
Pit.
Yeah.
The Pit. Okay.
Yeah. The Pit. So watch it. It's good. Let me see if Rotten Tomatoes has any reviews for The Pit. Sometimes they do reviews on television shows, don't they?
Oh yeah, they will. They got.
Yeah.
They'll have something up there. Yeah. Well, there's TV critics.
I hope
we got
they don't
TV
hate
critics
it.
out there.
Oh yeah, 93% from critics, 76% from the audience.
For some reason, I haven't understood this. Like when you go to Rotten Tomatoes, like TV scores, they're always pretty good. You're not. If you look at like all the top stuff, you're not gonna really see anything bad.
Well, The Hunting Party tonight has terrible reviews.
Okay, what is that though?
What is The Hunting Party? It's 10% from critics. It's on Peacock. It's on NBC.
Oh, okay. So
after a secret prison hidden underneath the Wyoming countryside suffers an unexpected explosion, the nation's worst serial killers are once again at large. Oh my gosh! So they got to go find serial killers. That's what they're hunting.
Sounds a little
Hunting serial
far-fetched.
killers. Oh, you think so? Number 7, the Grizzlies. All right, second half schedule for the Grizzlies.
Okay.
The Grizzlies have 28 games left. They play 50. They play them in 52 days.
Okay.
52 days, the Grizzlies have 28 games. So the Grizzlies' record against here's how I broke this down. The top 3 of the East and then the top 6 in the West. Those are the ones I think you would probably say contenders or whatever.
Okay.
If you look at the top 3 in the East, it is Cleveland, it's New York, and it's Boston. The top 6 in the West are the Grizzlies, the Thunder, the Rockets, the Lakers, the Nuggets, and the Clippers. And, the Grizzlies are 4-11 in those games. They
Okay.
have 9 of them left. 5 at home, 4 on the road. What do you think their record will be in those 9 games?
You said 5 at home, 4 on the road?
5 at home, 4 on the road.
Okay, I'll be positive and say 5-4.
5-4.
Yeah.
All right. Their next set. Grizzlies against the Eastern Conference is 4-6, and the West 7-10. The Grizzlies are 9-4 against those teams this year. That'd be the Pacers, the Bucks, the Pistons, the Timberwolves, the Mavericks, the Kings, and the Warriors. The Grizzlies have 7 games left against those teams. They are 3-4. 3 at home, 4 on the road.
Okay.
What do you think they go in those 7 games? I can read off the game so if you want to know who they play, when, and where. They are at Indiana, at Dallas, at Sacramento, at Detroit. And the home games are against the Warriors, the Timberwolves, and the Mavericks.
I'll say 4-3.
4-3.
Yep.
Okay, we're 4-3. All right, cool. And then against the rest, 7-15 in the East, 11-15 in the West, the Grizzlies are 23-3, and they have the only ones they've lost in those are to the Bulls and then 2 to Brooklyn. They have 12 games left against those. They are at Orlando. They have Phoenix twice. They have Utah twice, 1 at home, 1 on the road. They have Miami twice. They have at New Orleans, at Charlotte, and at Portland and Atlanta at home. What do you think they go in those 12 games? They are 23-3 against those teams so far this year. 6 home, 6 road.
I'll say 7-5. 5.
7-5.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. I thought you would have gone better than that. All right. So that would be 9-7. That would be 16-12 the rest of the way. The Grizzlies have won. That would put them at 52 wins.
Yep.
52-30. All right. That brings me to number 8. Feet to fire. Yeah, 52-30. Feet to fire.
Okay.
All right. Ja Morant has played. There are 28 games left. Ja Morant plays over or under 23.5 games.
How many games are left?
28 games left. Does he play over or under 23.5? What do you say?
I mean, dude, obviously the
it's a good one, right? 28 games left. Does Ja play over or under 23.5?
I would hope over. Now,
well, we all hope over.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to play over? You could. It's not like, I mean,
I think he's going to try to.
They got to.
I think it is so. Okay.
The biggest concern with all this, well, aside from the fact he hadn't really ever played 5 games in a row this year, barely.
Yep.
It's 28 games in 52 days.
Yeah.
Or 50.
There's a lot of
back-to-backs
back-to-backs in there, right?
They've got multiple. They got multiple back-to-backs. Yeah. They got like 6 of them.
I think me and you were talking about this.
They come out of the All-Star break at Indiana, at Orlando, back-to-back, and then a day off, and then at Cleveland. They go 3 and 4 days to start out immediately.
But I think the hope would be, and I know he's dealt with injuries this season. They've clearly been They've clearly been super careful, right?
Yeah.
I would think that by being super careful going into All-Star break, that the plan would be to really ramp it up and go for. I mean, I think this team's goal should be to keep the 2 seed and stay in the 2 seed, because I think you're going to get a favorable first round matchup if you keep that 2 seed. I really
think
do.
Ja plays over or under 23.5 games the rest of the way?
No.
You say under. Okay.
I mean, I can't, because again, like you said, like how many stretches do we have where he's played? You know, a bunch. Yeah, right. I can't just sit here and you know.
Jalen Wells averages 11.2 points per game in these last 28 games. Has he's averaged more or less than that?
I'll say less, because I think we're getting closer to Vince being in the starting lineup.
Okay. What seed do we end up with? Right now, the Grizzlies are the 2 seed. They are a half game ahead of the Denver Nuggets, 2.5 ahead of the Houston Rockets, 3 ahead of the Lakers, and 5 ahead of the Clippers.
I'm going to say 3 because I think that the schedule is so brutal for the Grizzlies. I believe the Nuggets is a little more favorable. They're playing really well right now. I think they're going to have just because of how the schedule shakes out, I think they're going to have a good chance of surpassing the Grizzlies.
So the Nuggets only have 27 games left. Technically, strength of schedule left, the Nuggets have the 3rd hardest strength of schedule. The Grizzlies have the 4th.
Okay. But how many? But then you got to go in and break down like back-to-backs. How many games?
You do,
because Grizzlies have like those 4 and 5 nights things.
They each have. The Grizzlies have 2 left against the Thunder and Cavs. And the toughest games for the Nuggets, they have 2 left against the Thunder. They have 2 against the Rockets, 3 against the Lakers, 1 against the Celtics, 1 against us. We still have the 2 against the Thunder, 2 against the Cavs, 1 against Boston, 1 against the Knicks, 1 against Denver, and 1 against the Lakers. Those are our toughest games remaining.
Yeah. I'm going to say that the Grizzlies finish the season as a 3 seed. Which is totally reasonable. I'm cool with that. But I do hope that they keep 2, because I think if you stay in 2, you're likely going to get a pretty favorable first round matchup.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think you will also.
You know, I think just going back to Ja, you know, I think me and you talked about this before the show. I think it is just you really do have a chance to just kind of flip the narrative about how people have viewed your season.
Yeah. You can change everything.
You can change everything by being available down the stretch. Again,
and then you can change everything in the playoffs. Then you can change it all in the playoffs,
of course,
too.
That goes without saying.
Yeah.
But down the stretch of this regular season, I mean, think about how people would feel. How do people feel right now starting a playoff series let's just say that they have a first-round series against the Clippers. Do people feel great about that right now? I feel good. I think they would win that series. Do I feel like it's a sure thing they would win that series? Not necessarily. You could totally change that. Like if he's available, the way that they play down the stretch, like those three guys, if they're carrying this team into the postseason, Ja, Jaren, and Dez, all three playing a lot of games together at a high level, we're going to go into the playoffs with people like, let's go. Like, it's all in front of us now. We're ready. I think right now it's reasonable to say some Grizzlies fans, a lot of Grizzlies fans are like, we'll see when they get there. Like, we'll see what happens when they get there.
Well, I mean, I'm not even one of those. Like, I don't think they're contenders, but that's just me.
Yeah, but there's a difference between. I don't think they're good. I don't think they're going to win a championship this season.
Yeah.
But do I think they could go to a Western Conference Finals?
Yeah, maybe.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they could do that.
I do believe that, which would be an amazing season.
That would be great.
That would be so much fun.
It would be.
Yeah.
It would be. Zach Edey plays 20.6 minutes per game. Does he play more or less the rest of the way?
I'm going to say he plays more. I'm going to say
he plays more than 20.6 minutes per game the rest of the season. Okay.
I think, again, man, I think it's go time now. I think it's go time. They're going to need him at some point, dude. They're going to need him at some point.
Just throw him into the fire.
Yeah, man. They're going to need him at some point. Absolutely. Like,
I'm with you. That's why they throw him out there.
Like their best lineups.
There could be a case to be made that they should just go small.
And there's
against some of these teams because he's not going to be ready for it, so you just need to go small.
That's fair, and we've seen it a million times where, like, that Brandon Clark lineup just looks better, and this team, it's a better version of this team. I completely agree with that. It's going to be matchup dependent.
Okay.
They're going to need Edey at some point. They are.
The player who should play more is
the player who should play more.
Yeah. They need to play. I'm not talking about an injured player like, oh, he needs to be available. The player on the roster who you think should play more minutes.
Yeah, I mean, the obvious answer is Vince Williams.
Well, Vince will, though. I think you got to take that out because he will. He's clearly just been on a restriction since he's come back. The player who you think should play more minutes than he does.
I'm looking.
Jalen says Jay Huff. Says Huff should play.
I don't think Huff should be getting DNPs.
Okay.
I don't know how much he should be playing. I don't know if he should necessarily be getting DNPs because it's such a different look, right? Like, he's a 7-footer that comes in and starts hitting through. When he gets on a heater, like we've seen it this season, it's, they've won games because of him this season. So I don't know if he should be getting DNPs. He will certain nights, but yeah, I think that's a good answer. I like that from Jalen. That's a good answer.
The player who should play less is.
Oh.
Yeah. Feet to fire.
Oh, man. The player that should play less is probably. Hang on. I'm just. I'm gonna say. I don't like doing this.
I know. That's why it's feet to fire.
But we gotta. I'm gonna say. Dude, I think maybe just it goes back to the Vince Williams thing. I think maybe Jalen, just because he's already playing a lot of minutes, right?
Jalen Wells.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm stoked about his future with this team. I think that I just said that I think you're going to need Edey more. I think that you're going to need Edey more. Okay. And I don't think that you want to start two rookies, in a playoff series, right? So
I don't think they are. I think Vince will be in the starting lineup eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad. I don't like
eventually.
I don't like the answer. Like I love Jalen Wells. I'm a big fan.
Give me the answer in the headset. Who should play less? Oh, he says Brandon Clark should get less minutes and get fewer minutes. Wow.
Man, the only thing is, though, is he can defend almost every position.
No. But this is the thing. This is why I love this question you ask Grizzlies fans, because I think you can get a different answer from everybody. Yeah. I asked social media Luke in there. You know what he said? He said Scotty.
Scotty does turn the ball over a lot.
Like, I think that is 3 different answers I've gotten. And I think you could do that with a ton of people. If I asked 3 other people, I bet I could get 3 different answers.
You know what the problem with that is, though? Is we've already talked about this. We have, 3 really good defenders on this team? He's one of them. 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd put B. I think BC's a pretty good defender. Yeah.
You've got Jaren, BC, Vince. Jaren and Vince are your 2 best. Jaren, Vince, BC, Wells. Those are like your 4 defenders.
Oh, yeah, I should have. Yeah, Jalen Wells, obviously. But Scotty is pretty. Yeah, Scotty gets turnovers, man. Now, he'll give the ball to the other team, too, but he does wreak havoc out there sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't hate that answer.
The best lineup the Grizzlies could put out. If you said put out our best lineup. 5-man.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Give me the best lineup.
Okay, Ja Bane, obviously.
Ja Dez,
Jaren, obviously.
Yeah.
Vince Williams. Just, yeah.
This is where it's tricky. I think most people...
Most people
No,
let me say this. You know how I feel about the guy. It depends on which version you get. But when he's playing his best, Santi is a nightmare out there for other teams. He just is. Like if you're getting good Santi that's on a heater, I think that's the lineup.
Yeah. Okay. Jaren, Vince, and Santi.
And we've actually seen a little bit of that.
What's the ceiling on that lineup? You don't have to answer that right now. Jaren Jackson Jr., do you think he makes All-NBA? One of the All-NBA teams. So the All-NBA teams, all 3 of them, they're positionless now. So you don't have to have specific positions. These are the players I think set in stone. I think you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think you have 9 guys for sure that are going to be on the All-NBA teams. Jokic, SGA, Jason Tatum, Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, Donovan Mitchell, Giannis, LeBron, and Wemby. I think those 9 are for sure going to be on the All-NBA teams.
And so who would he really be competing against?
So that's what we say. It's positionless. You got Jalen Williams.
Yep.
Evan Mobley. Steph Curry. Cade Cunningham. Sabonis. Alperen Şengün. Durant may not make the games, though.
Yep.
Some of these guys may not make the games. Devin Booker, Darius Garland, Damian Lillard. Those are some of the names we came up with that.
Okay. And then...
Because there's some guys that aren't, like Anthony Davis is not going to have the games. Luka is not going to have the games. Anthony Davis 100% would be on here if he was going to have the games, and he's not going to have the games played anymore because he's going to miss a lot of time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Anthony Davis would be the 10th in here. He would for sure be on it.
Okay, and wait, how many...
there's 15 spots, and I've got 9 for sure.
9.
The point is, I think he's going to make one of them.
Because, okay, here's what I'm going to do. All right, first off, I think... I'm going to eliminate Durant because I'm going to assume he's not going to make the threshold, okay? I'm going to eliminate Cade because he's on the Pistons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pistons
I mean, they're the 6th seed, though, dude.
They are.
Yeah, they're the 6th seed.
I'm just saying, I think when you look at this...
No, I'm not eliminating Cade.
No,
I'm not
you don't
eliminating
have
Cade.
to.
Hang
but
on.
I think, I'm dead serious. I think when you look at this... Like, Curry's numbers are down across the board. Field goal percentage, 3-point percentage. He's down 3 points per game, too. But, like, he could get in because he's Steph Curry.
Okay, I'm going to take off one of the Cavs. We're not going to do 2 Cavs. So, should I take off Garland or...
Well, Mitchell's going to be on there. Donovan Mitchell's going to be all NBA.
So, I'm going to take off Garland or Mobley. I'll take off Mobley.
Take off Mobley.
Yeah.
Okay. So the point is, I think when you whittle this down, I don't think we don't have to X out all these guys. barring injury, Jaren's going to make All-NBA.
I'm taking Booker off. Dude, that team might not even make the playoffs.
That team's not going to make the playoffs.
How am I going to award someone with All-NBA if their team to make the playoffs?
Phoenix is not going to make the playoffs. Phoenix has the toughest remaining schedule in the NBA. Now, they do have some easy. Their easiest games, they have 2 with the Pelicans, 2 with the Raptors, 2 with the Bulls, and 2 with the Spurs. Dude, the Spurs could beat them in both of those games.
Yeah.
They do have left to play. We play the Suns twice. We've owned them. They play the Nuggets, the Knicks, the Cavs, and the Thunder once, and they also play the Celtics twice. Phoenix is terrible. They're done for. Phoenix is not making the playoffs. No. But I think it goes here. I think the Grizzlies, I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to end up making the All-NBA team. When you just do out those numbers, Jaren's going to make it. Because other guys have gotten injured. So, Luka's not making it this year because he's not going to play the games. Anthony Davis is not going to make it because he's not going to have played the games. It's going to be iffy on Kevin Durant. There's more. Embiid has not played all year, really played at all this year and has not been good even. There's just going to be spots that haven't been there in recent years. There's going to be those available spots. And I think Jaren for sure is going to make All-NBA. And then Jaren is going to get the Supermax largest contract in the history of the Grizzlies franchise. Number 9, SNL 50. So I saw a little bit of it, not a lot. I mainly watched the All-Star game, but I saw Lil Wayne's performance. I saw the Kate McKinnon, Meryl Streep.
That was good.
Kate McKinnon's hilarious.
It's Meryl Streep's first time ever on SNL.
Yeah, I think Kate McKinnon hilarious.
She's awesome.
I thought the Scared Straight skit with Keaton Thompson and Eddie Murphy and Will Ferrell was absolutely hilarious.
I thought Black Jeopardy was good.
Black Jeopardy was good. I watched that one online. Black Jeopardy was great. They did not bring back the Blizzard Man with Andy Samberg. At least I didn't see anything about that. They should have brought back the Blizzard Man. But what else? Is there anything I missed from it? Look, the stuff I watched I thought was funny. I saw Lil Wayne.
The musical stuff was cool. I mean, I thought that Post Malone with Nirvana was cool. I mean, obviously Paul McCartney. You got a Beatle closing the show, playing Beatles songs. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
For me, it was just the nostalgia of the whole thing. Just seeing all those different old faces.
Yeah,
it was
all there.
Every scene, it's oh, cool. Yeah, they got so and so. They got that. That was the best part about it.
And you see the mega stars that show has created.
Oh, dude,
some of the talent that show has found and what those guys have all gone on to.
The biggest stars, yeah.
Yeah, whether it's Chevy Chase or Dan Aykroyd or Eddie Murphy or Will Ferrell or Adam Sandler or Chris Rock or Jason Sudeikis or Kristen Wiig or who else? There's been a million of them. Andy Samberg we mentioned. There's been Phil Hartman, rest in peace. Phil Hartman was a freaking legend. There's been a million of them. Chris Farley, rest in peace. There's been a lot of them. Saturday Night Live has been, now it's pretty much, I don't know how many people watch it live anymore. I feel like it's mostly a clip show now.
It is. I mean, that's how I consume it.
Yeah, people consume it through Twitter and Instagram.
I rarely am watching it live on a Saturday night. Yeah. Which kind of defeats the purpose, but that's...
Norm Macdonald in the Weekend Update. Norm Macdonald, a legend. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
And number 10 tonight. So there's no NBA games because the NBA's off.
We're watching college hoops.
We do have some college hoops. We got 2 top 25 teams in action. Duke plays Virginia at 7 o'clock. You want to watch Cooper Flag. Arizona plays Baylor at 9 o'clock on ESPN. Are there any other games tonight? You can also watch WWE Raw on Netflix. I may do that.
It's Mania season, bro.
I have not watched Raw since it's gone to Netflix. I've not watched it yet.
It's been good. It's been good.
Who is it? Tessitore who does the announcing? Or does he do SmackDown?
No, Joe does SmackDown because he was here.
Okay.
Yeah, he does SmackDown. Raw is, I think it's Michael and Pat. I think it's Michael Cole.
Michael Cole and Pat McAfee on Netflix. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do they curse or do they keep it PG still?
They still keep it PG.
Okay.
It's a family show.
I didn't know. You never know with Netflix. You get away with some stuff there.
Yeah. They keep it pretty PG. I'm stoked, man. I'm stoked about Mania season. I'm ready to this is when I always during football season I kind of drop off a little bit in the fall, and then I get really back into it this time of year. Yeah, so I'm pumped about it.
Yeah.
Elimination Chamber coming up.
Elimination Chamber coming up. I'm gonna check out WWE Raw tonight for sure.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do it.
Hit the music. We're gonna get out of here. I'll talk to y'all in like 22 minutes because I got to do odds couple here in a second with Lang and maybe Fish. I don't know if Fish is here or not. So I got to do that coming up at 2:00. Probably talking a lot of college hoops and bracketology.
I love bracketology.
Thank you to everybody for watching, listening, tuning in. I really appreciate it, and I hope everybody has a great evening. Peace.